Today I'm vacuum sealing, and since a lot of people had questions about how this little vacuum sealer worked, I thought I'd do a video. Now with the food saver type of vacuum sealer, when you put a bag into that slot, a bar drops down and clamps down onto the bag. Then the vacuum is on the back side of the bar, and in order to pull a vacuum past that bar, you have to have those special channel type bags. With the little vacuum sealer, the vacuum ends up in front of the bar, so you don't need channel bags. You can use any type of bag that is capable of holding a vacuum. That's to say, you couldn't use a sandwich bag because a sandwich bag won't hold a vacuum. But the bags of cheese that you buy in the store, those bags are capable of holding a vacuum. So when I buy those, I'll cut that Ziploc edge off of it, put the bag of cheese in here, and I vacuum seal it and then put it in the freezer. So I'll show you how this works. I'm vacuum sealing soap because soap tends to evaporate. So what you do is pull out the nozzle, put your bag on there, and you make sure that it's smooth. Close the door. Turn on the machine. And unlock it. And that's it. It's vacuum sealed. And as you can see, these are quart bags that I cut down. I've used the other half for something, I don't remember what, but they're just regular clear bags, and they're so much cheaper than the food saver bags. Here's a quart size bag. That's what I use, 3 ml quart size. I have food that I've vacuum sealed 2 years ago. It's still holding up fine. And in order to save on bags, if I only need something for bars of soap, I'll cut the bag in half and use half, make my own bags. But they run about 8 cents a piece. And I bought the machine from a website called Sorbent Systems. The machine, I believe, is $99, and if you buy $50 worth of bags, then they'll take $15 off the machine. So it ends up $85. The bag, I saved so much on the bags, it was worthwhile to buy this little machine. This little vacuum sealer can be kind of tricky to work with, and it takes a bit of practice. If the food is too far away from the nozzle, then the bag will collapse around the nozzle, and it won't pull a vacuum. So you need to keep the food up closer to the nozzle. If I tried to vacuum seal it with the food that far away from the nozzle, it wouldn't work. So what you want to do is try to push the food up closer to the nozzle so that the bag won't be able to collapse upon itself. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Yeah, it works fine, but if those beans had been too far away from the nozzle, it wouldn't have worked properly. It just takes a little practice. It can be a little bit frustrating at first with this machine, but I've been real happy with it. Some foods have sharp edges, like corn or rice, and when you vacuum seal them, sometimes they'll puncture the bag and you'll lose your seal. That happens whether you're using food saver bags or these bags. I've heard people suggest that you could put the food inside of lunch bags and then put the lunch bag inside the plastic bag and vacuum seal it. But I found that the lunch bags have sharp edges of their own that will puncture the bag. So my solution to the problem is to fill socks with the food and then vacuum sealing the sock full of food. And here's bag of corn that I vacuum sealed inside of a sock. And the sock is always reusable. After you use up this bag of food, you can wash the sock and vacuum seal with it again, or you could even wear them if you wanted to. I get these socks from the Dollar Tree. They're 3 pair for $1. They're mighty thin. I don't think I would wear these socks, but they're fine for vacuum sealing. Another advantage to this vacuum sealer is that you can vacuum seal powdery foods with it. And it's a bit tricky to do, but I'll show you how you can do it. I have flour in the bag, and you have to make sure that there's no flour up around where the seal will be, or else the flour will break your seal. Put the bag on the nozzle. And I take a strip of a paper towel here. Position it right below the nozzle. This keeps the bag from collapsing around the nozzle. If it does that, then it won't pull any more air. This allows you to keep the flour a safe distance from the nozzle. If the flour is up at the nozzle, it'll be sucked through the machine. Basically what you're doing is creating a channel with the paper towel. And there you have it. Vacuum sealed flour. So that's how the little vacuum sealer works. Hope it helps.